Welcome to 1000 PSTV. The first three-wheel scooter from Kymco comes with a novelty in the class. A two-cylinder. Find out how the masculine three-wheeler rides in this video. Opinions about three-wheel scooters differ. Purists and traditionalists say that three wheels have no place on a scooter or even a motorcycle. Others see more advantages than disadvantages in the concept. I belong to the second group. Visually, three-wheelers still take some getting used to and accordingly attract a lot of stares on the road. But in everyday use, two front wheels are a big plus in terms of riding safety. So the Kymco CV3 enters the ring against a Piaggio MP3 or a Peugeot Metropolis. One thing in advance, the proud Taiwanese doesn't need to hide at all. Although the CV3's front suspension is the first thing that catches the eye, the engine remains the heart of the machine. And it's new in the class. The inline two-cylinder with offset crankshaft produces a high-revving 51 horsepower and 52 newton-meters of maximum torque from a displacement of exactly 550 cubic centimeters. In rain mode, power drops to 34 horsepower and 47 newton-meter of torque. If you twist the throttle too wildly, you'll be slowed down by an anti-slip control. We never felt anything of this in the test. We were obviously too tame on the throttle, or the tires always had enough grip. Shifting is not necessary. Typically, scooter works in the Kymco CV3, a continuously variable variomatic with centrifugal clutch. You only have to accelerate and brake. That's it. Another novelty is that the CV3 does without the usual drive set swing arm and has a classic two-arm swing arm like a real motorcycle, and the final drive works via an open, maintenance-free tooth belt. So you could say that the drive concept in the Kymco CV3 is a practical combination of scooter and motorcycle mechanics. And the smooth running of the two-cylinder is striking. AES is very harmonious, rev-happy, and always predictable power delivery. Of course, there is the minimal variomatic typical deceleration, starting up and accelerating very hard, but because of the many powers, it always goes forward tightly in the saddle. The three-wheeler accelerates up to just over 160 kilometers per hour, then it stops. Enough to be able to execute accordingly on the highway, whoever needs to or wants to. The sound is also atypical for a scooter, since the two-cylinder with crankpin offset produces a certain V2 sound that definitely has a sporty, throaty character. Never loud, but present. We could not determine the consumption due to the short test used suitable for everyday use. It can be described as normal or inconspicuous in our test period. Okay, let's get to the heart of the matter. How does the Kymco three-wheeled scooter ride? Well, much more balanced than we thought. Typically, three-wheeled scooters are rather top-heavy, so a certain sluggishness seems pre-programmed, but the CV3 hides this surprisingly well. The incorruptible 1000 PS scales have attested the CV3 ready to ride and full to the brim, a live weight of exactly 280 kilograms, 2 kilos below the factory specification. When pushing, maneuvering, or jacking up, you notice the weight. For petite ladies or people of short stature, the CV3 poses a challenge, not only because of its weight, but also because of the large step arc, the seat height, 795 millimeters. But once in motion, you do not feel the weight so clearly. Of course, the Kymco CV3 is less agile than its corporate brother with the same engine, the AK 550i. Since it has to throw both wheel and 40 kilograms more around the corner. But once you've adjusted to the fact that you naturally can't maneuver quite as boldly and unabashedly through city traffic, then you soon know how to savor the advantages of the three wheels. Where a two-wheeled scooter always requires caution, such as damp cobblestones, streetcar tracks, or generally tricky surfaces, the three-wheeled scooter can be confidently and swiftly cornered. Very quickly, the inner grip hurdle shifts upward when cruising around corners because once the desired line is targeted, the Kymco CV3 follows it in a track-stable manner. There wobbles nothing, there slips nothing, there is simply shifted and ready up to approx. 40 degrees inclination. And the mainstand begins to scratch discreetly on the asphalt. The colleague said they would miss the front wheel feeling as with all three-wheelers, but I cannot understand that. Perhaps also because the head tells me this must always have adhesion anyway. So also everything goes, which one can only intend with something switched on brain. For the front wheel guidance, Kymco relies on a double tube system per wheel called Kymco Advanced Leaning Suspension, or CALS for short, which practically means 4 fork arms instead of 2. The system is similar to that of the Yamaha Nikon. 2 13-inch wheels are used at the front, and a 15-inch wheel with 160 rear tire is used at the rear. To cut a long story short, the handling is not a mystery and not really that different from a two-wheeled scooter, just less agile and more stable at high speeds. Exciting side note, the Kymco CV3 can also be driven with a car driver's license because it can also be safely moved by car drivers due to its 3 wheels and the foot brake. And exactly this mentioned foot brake is a cool feature. While the front brake is operated by hand on the right and the rear brake on the left, like on every scooter, there's still the foot brake pedal on the right side of the footboard. And when you press it hard, the CV3 brakes as radically as if you were dropping the proverbial anchor. It feels like the scooter stops within 3 meters always. The foot pedal does take a bit of getting used to as it brakes very gently at first and then much more firmly at higher pressure in travel. Against the blocking works the standard ABS, the normal handbrakes are inconspicuous and reliable in terms of dosage and braking effect. Their characteristics could also be described as rock solid. Once you have mastered the high step through and large crotch arch, the CV3 is really comfortable to sit on. The driver has an adjustable small backrest while the passenger's is fixed. Under the driver's seat can be unlocked with a push of a button to the helmet compartment and tank filler neck, but the bench does not automatically jump up, but the user must lift the seat at the same time as pressing the button. This is quickly acquired, but not 100% self-explanatory. The compartment itself allows space for a full-face helmet at most product design and is dimensioned rather small due to the size of the scooter. A Schuber CI5 flip-up helmet could not be accommodated in it. The filling seat can also be removed, but there is no extra compartment underneath. Optionally, space can still be created by means of side cases and a top case with up to 47 liters of cargo volume. A nice standard gimmick is the tire pressure indicator for all 3 wheels, plus cruise control, heated grips, full LED lights, and the Kymco Nudo connectivity system, which is fully integrated into the TFT display. By the way, the Kymco CV3 has a keyless system, which is really handy in city traffic when making a quick shopping stop. When stopping at traffic lights, the front axle can be conveniently locked at the push of a button, which practically prevents the scooter from falling over. And there is also a parking brake, which is located on the left half of the handlebar. Even the windshield is mechanically adjustable in height by means of screws for better wind protection. In short, the equipment on the Kymco CV3 is lush. In Germany, the Kymco CV3 currently costs 13,599 euros plus 350 euros transfer costs. It is available in the colors green and model black. The prices for Austria and Switzerland were not yet fixed on the release date and will be provided later. The conclusion on the Kymco CV3 550 ABS 2023. The Kymco CV3 offers everything that a modern 3-wheeled scooter in the maxi segment must offer: good handling, a powerful engine, plenty of equipment and comfort, and a sporty masculine look. Its trump card is the cultivated 2-cylinder engine, which turns the scooter into a practical companion with real motorcycle performance in places. However, the price could become a crunchy hurdle for one or the other CV3 prospective buyer. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions or thoughts, please don't hesitate to drop a comment below. To ensure you never miss out on any of our future videos, please consider hitting that subscribe button and staying connected with us. So once again, thank you for being here, and let's dive into this exciting adventure together. Stay tuned because we've got a lot of love and passion to share.